Incredibly busy. Now, Captain Dennis Murphy, who is president of the Daniel J. Callaghan Society, will say a few words. And we'd like you to join.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you about the Daniel Callaghan Society. But I think to give you some context as to what the society is about, I may have to indulge a minute about my personal background. I attended St. Ignatius College Preparatory here in San Francisco, a 150-plus-year-old school that also Daniel Callaghan attended. And I had gone on to the Naval Academy myself, as Daniel Callaghan had, and went on to serve in a career in the Navy, in nuclear submarines, including an assignment as a junior officer on USS San Francisco and coming under the Golden Gate Bridge 2 different times in the 80s for Fleet Week. I went on to command a submarine and a squadron of submarines, and then I retired after 24 years, and in that time period, I always wondered if there had ever been an admiral that had gone to St. Ignatius. I just didn't know that. And you know, it was one of those things that just sort of bugged me. It's a long-standing school. And then one day, about almost 2 years ago, I got a phone call from the chairman of our alumni board. And he called up and said, "We've just had a meeting of the board, and a number of the alumni from the 40s and the 50s have kind of come together. They want to form this Daniel Callaghan Society, and we want to know if you'd be willing to take charge and run it." And so I immediately said, "Yes, of course I will," because, you know, when you get a call like that, you say yes. And the next thing I did was I Googled Daniel Callaghan, because I didn't know who he was. And when I read his history, I was floored. I was shocked that some, President Roosevelt's naval aide, the commanding officer at USS San Francisco, the task force commander at Guadalcanal, Medal of Honor recipient, all of those things. And I knew of a Admiral Callaghan, as was mentioned before. There's the Callaghan Damage Control School in Newport. There's, Callaghan this and Callaghan that, but I never was able to make the association with Daniel Callaghan. And his brother, William Callaghan, who also attended St. Ignatius in the Naval Academy, went on to be a 3-star admiral and was the commanding officer at USS Missouri. 1944 was the commissioning commanding officer, and has his grandson is here today, Jack Callaghan, and Jack's daughter, Caitlin, is also a St. Ignatius graduate, class of '99, and she's been participating with us as well. So the Callaghan Society, what we're doing with the Society at St. Ignatius is to make sure that no student ever goes through there again without knowing the legacy of Daniel Callaghan. That's a commitment that we've made, and the school is making an addition. We now have a display case in a very prominent part of the school. It's maybe 20 feet by 10 feet. And inside that display case, there's about 1/3 of it is dedicated to Daniel Callaghan. There's a shadow box in there with his story. In the middle, there's a tremendous painting of this USS San Francisco returning under the Golden Gate Bridge in December of 1942 on its way to Mare Island for repairs. And there are prints of that painting that can be made available. I can get the information to Chief Johnny. And the artist is willing to donate proceeds of that painting, of any replication that he sells of it, and give proceeds to the Callaghan Society. And then on the far right side of the display case is pictures of alumni of St. Ignatius who are currently on active duty. And it gives the students a real view of the people that are out there. And I think maybe most importantly, at the bottom of the display case is the name of every St. Ignatius alumni who've been killed in battle, including about 90 in World War II. And so it's really a commitment of the school, a commitment of the Alumni Association to honor the students who have served and also who aspire to serve. This year, we're about a year in the making. We've raised close to $100,000. Our goal is to get to $1 million because we want to chair and endow a chair of public service at St. Ignatius in the name of Daniel Callaghan to be able to teach students about military history, about leadership in military, and about what it means to serve the public. So that's our long-term aspiration. We also this year had an essay contest of 65 students participated, where the first place winner got $3,000, the second place got $2,000, and the first place got $1,000. And it really was inspiring to read the stories these students wrote. And the prompt of the essay was associated with, it had in there President Kennedy's statement of ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And it connected that to Daniel Callaghan's service. And it was very inspiring to read what these students had written. And we had very intricate, complicated grading schemes, including 5 different panels of volunteers and 10 of us that came together for a face-to-face to whittle down from the final 10 to the final 3. And so what you could do if you're interested, you can get with Chief Johnny to join the society. It's a $25 fee to join. And with that, you'll get communications. We'll have several events every year, do different things. But also, you could go to the St. Ignatius College Preparatory website.
Excuse me, Captain. The people are going over. There's a carrier that's coming in.
Carrier.
And someone want to get a picture of it.
Okay.
But you can keep talking. It's fine.
Well, I'm wrapping up.
They can hear you.
Okay, I'm wrapping up. But anyway, you can go to the St. Ignatius website and go to the alumni section, and in there you can get more information about the Callaghan Society and also read the top 3 essays from the students. So with that, thank you very much for your attention.
Oh.